Hello, Aquarius, and welcome to your July 2026 reading. We are going to have a look at some astrological influences for you this month. We're going to see what the cards have to say, and this will be for all Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. You, Aquarius, are one of the stars of the show for July, okay? And first and foremost, it's because our North Node and our South Node, our sense of direction, right? South node is where we're from. North node is where we're going. It's shifting from Pisces and Virgo into Aquarius and Leo. So you are the North node. So this can be really exciting for you. It's a very different energy than what we've been used to. But this can be where, fate can play a role. This can be where, you can, maybe even change your destiny, should that be in the cards for you. But we also have Pluto retrograde in your sign, and Pluto is kicking up this month, creating some interesting aspects and a couple challenging ones as well. And that is in your sign. Okay, so middle of the month is where we're really going to look for everybody this month. It's some really, really unusual, rare, and interesting astrological aspects. All of our outer planets, which don't always all move at the same time, they're all very slow, have all moved into their new signs now. They've settled down, and it's pretty rare for all of these outer planets to be having these aspects, and they're all at 4 degrees in the middle of the month. So July 14th, right up until about the 22nd, when the sun moves into Leo, we have Uranus, your modern day ruler. So another one that's affecting you. Okay. Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, and Jupiter. I think we have Saturn in there somewhere as well. all connecting with each other. And again, everything's at 4 degrees. 4 is about stability, security, planting roots, your foundation. It's also related to Cancerian energy, so nurturing your family, your children, your ancestry, all of the stuff. And there can be a lot of shifts, a lot of changes. There can be endings, new beginnings, growth. It is a time of transformation and regeneration. So the middle of the month, specifically between the 14th and the 22nd, is going to be a really important time to forget about the little things, let the little things go, and open yourself up to some bigger energy, meditation, reflection, connecting with nature, whatever it happens to be for you, so that you can get yourself into receiving mode. Okay, the 15th is one of the more positive aspects, probably like one of the most important ones for spiritual growth. We've got Uranus in a sextile with Neptune, and this can be a huge shift in our consciousness, not just for us, but also globally. Some people will feel this shift right away. Others, it may take a little while longer to play out, because the sextile has a lot of potential for a lot of growth and some really wonderful things. But that's your modern day ruler there. And then we also do have, probably really good for you, the 20th. We've got Jupiter making 3 different aspects. One's in opposition with Pluto, so that's probably a little challenging, to say the least. I'm underplaying that a lot. But then we also have Jupiter and Neptune and Jupiter and Uranus. And so that can be really positive. So, there's, we take the good with the bad, right? But Jupiter expands everything, amplifies everything. And that can also be, for a challenge, right? A really big challenge, or really big blessings, right? One of the two. So really important week of the month. But of course, we also have a full moon in your sign at the end of the month on the 29th. So that's another date for you to watch out for. And also the same day, the sun makes a conjunction with Jupiter, and it is in Leo. Okay, and those are both at 6 degrees. So this can be where something may come to fruition in maybe an unexpected way. Or you could have some sort of an ending that's coming in here that is ultimately a blessing for you, because the sun conjunct Jupiter is like, whoa, really positive energy. So there's a lot of things going on, but we're going to leave those at that, and let's have a look and see what the cards have in store for you. We've got night wind energy, facing fear, subconscious release, and healing. All right. So if you've been feeling stuck or lost, or If there's been something that you want to do or change or end or start, okay, this is where you release your fears, okay? Face your fears. We get rewarded. Jupiter is at play, right? Uranus is at play. They want you to be free, right? They want you to be free. They want you to move forward. Jupiter, ruler of Sagittarius, right? Uranus, the ruler of you. And you're used to that energy, okay? A little bit of rebellion, a little bit of, I want to be free. I don't want to be controlled. And fear can control you. Inner doubts can control you, right? And also external things. So this is like clearing all that up. So you're carrying less baggage going forward. So this can be a really beautiful, beautiful energy. Some of you might be called, you might just have an inner calling to sit outside at night, do a little bit of stargazing, or sit outside on a windy, blustery evening. I love that. I love camping in the rain. I'm a crazy person. I don't like setting my stuff up in the rain. Let's be very clear on that. But I love camping in the rain once everything's set up. And especially if there's like a little bit of a storm, no lightning, please. And it's just the sound of the trees and the wind, and the pitter patter of the rain is just lovely. So you may be inclined to connect with the night a little bit. We also have yin yang coming out. Okay, this is card number 40. Reduces to a 4. Okay, 4s are going to be very, very important. You might see a lot of them over the next few weeks. Yin and yang, creating harmony through balance. Okay, so do you have harmony and balance in your life right now? Where do you need to make some changes? Where do you need to focus, or what do you need to release to restore balance and harmony in your world? You may have a little bit of planetary help and assistance with that. But when we are in a harmonious state, things are easier. Changes are easier to navigate. And life is just a little bit more, how should we say, it's a little bit easier, right? Because when we are balanced, um, even challenges that we encounter, we look at them a little bit different, right? We deal with things a little bit differently than when we're kind of chaotic and out of alignment. So this is coming in and activating for you. Let's get some more cards. Messages for Aquarius, please. Incoming, we've got the moon. There you go. So your full moon is going to be a big one, okay? Especially for the moon to come out right in the middle of your reading. So the moon can certainly represent your spiritual self, your emotions, your subconscious, right? So really a good month here for doing some soul work, some reflective work, doing meditation, engaging in spiritual practice. All this is really going to benefit you, okay? The moon is also about your fears. Okay, we've got your fears here and your fears here. So the moon is saying, face your fears, right? Because a lot of times our fears are something, it's not like necessarily a fear of, I'm going to go sit outside and a big bear is going to come and eat me. Well, it might if you're camping. No one in my family has ever been eaten by a bear, even camping in the backwoods. So encounter them, yes. But anyways, so it's like an inner fear of failure, fear of disappointment, fear of success sometimes, right? So you're not all comfortable in the spotlight or getting, rewards and accolades, right? So whatever it is your fear, it's quite often in your subconscious, and it's maybe something that was forged in childhood. So this can be a really, really powerful and important month to clear those things out and to face those things. The moon also does bring illusion, so do be aware of that. Because there can be things that you don't see, so we need to take our time in making decisions, and especially if we're dealing with like paperwork and technology, because of course this month as well we also have retrogrades. Mercury retrograde all the way up until July 23rd, a shadow period after that. So really July is a wash. Neptune is turning retrograde on July 7th. So 7/7 all the way up to December 12th, 12/12. Pluto already is retrograde in your sign all the way up until the middle of October. You know about this already. And Saturn, your traditional ruler, is retrograde as of July 26th. So a lot of really big shifts going on, a lot of retrograde energy, which is a perfect time to take a step back and look at the big picture or revive an old dream, really refocus, regroup, and renew. So with retrograde energy, we're more likely to miss something. It's more specifically Mercury. So just take your time if you are, if you're dealing with any kind of life-changing decisions or important documents, okay? Because there just could be something here that's not quite what it seems, or something that may be hidden, right? The moon can hide things in a shadow, okay? Um, you'll be better off when you take your time, okay? But the moon ultimately is about the cycles in your life. We've got a new moon in Cancer, beautiful, beautiful moon on the 14th. And then, of course, the aforementioned full moon in your sign on the 29th. And again, that's has a sun conjunct Jupiter, so it's a really big day for you. And don't forget, we head into eclipse season in August here as well, with a very spectacular solar eclipse in the sign of Leo, right? Your opposite sign on August 12th. It is. So that's another one to watch for. We've got the Eight of Cups crossing you. Okay, so this is in your challenge energy, the challenge of letting go, the challenge of staying emotionally detached, the challenge of the challenge of connecting with your emotions here as well, and the challenge of moving forward or moving past something, letting things go. So, I feel like, for a lot of the month here, you have two full moons that have bookended you. Like I said, the full moon in your sign on the 29th, right? Very important for you. But there was also a full moon in Capricorn on June 29th, and that is ruled by Saturn, your traditional ruler. So the month of July for you could really be a focus on clearing things out, repositioning yourself, realigning yourself with what you want and where you want to go. And in order to do that, the Eight of Cups is a transitional energy, right? It's one typically where there's no love left, there's no emotional connection left, there's nothing left for us in our current state. And we need to move forward. Now, we can move forward to something new, or we can transition into the next stage of something. The next card after the Eight of Cups is the Nine of Cups, which is wish fulfillment, right? So before your wishes can come true, right, we need to do some inner work. So I can't wait to see what's come out in your subconscious here. But the moon the moon card is already bringing up emotions for you, and or to examine, do I keep this or do I toss it out, right? Do I want to hold on to this energy, or is there nothing left, right? Where am I going from here? How do I take my next step forward in a really positive way that brings me happiness and joy, and brings me that sense of fulfillment that I need in my life? So it's kind of like an emotional transition for you guys here. Crowning you, we've got the Two of Wands, a sense of direction. Which path do you take? Cheapers. This is in your thoughts. This is where your focus is. This is what you're trying to decide. It's where your head's at, essentially. And the Two of Wands is a good card, right? It's a good card. It's like, I want something, and how do I get it, right? It is an energy of your path forward being open. There's no blocks ahead of you. So this here, we can be clearing the blocks, clearing the path, and you know that you have the ability to do that. So what's standing in your way from living your best life, from doing the things that you want to do, right? You don't like to be backed into a corner. right? You don't like to be stuck and you don't like to be controlled, right? So this is like setting yourself free, finding your true path, right? Maybe some of you have lost yourself in the last little while and this is gaining your footing back. But the Two of Wands, you're making some decisions. The Two of Wands is a card of balance as well, right? So it's like, I got to get my head on straight. I got to find balance in my life. And so you already know these things. But ultimately, though, which direction are you going? What path do you take? And this can be anything, right? This can just be personal, right? Where am I in my life? Maybe you're asking some big questions right now. Not surprising with a massive amplified full moon coming up for you. This can be your career choice, your career direction. This can be your friendships, your relationships in your life, right? Your spiritual growth, right? Whatever it happens to be, there's some expanding energy that's coming out here, but you may need to make a decision. And just like we said with that Eight of Cups, right? You may need to make a decision what you're connected with and what you're no longer connected with so that you can move forward in a wonderful, wonderful direction. Beneath you, the King of Cups. Look at that. How do I connect with my emotions in a positive way? Now, I do notice always in this particular deck that this King of Cups has Neptune's trident there, okay? And, so this and it's really front and center, like it's big, right? So again, this month, I feel like there's a big transitional energy for you as far as your spiritual path goes, your spiritual growth, big awakening or a big leap forward. Some of you have been on a spiritual path for quite a while. Others, you're just new and you're trying to navigate some of all this energy and you're like, why the hell does everything feel so weird? So the King of Cups shows that you are really connecting with your emotions and with your spirit in a really positive way. The kings are leaders. The kings are masters. And so you could just be realizing that, yes, I'm a master of my own emotions, right? Which is important for Aquarius. Anyway, you don't always show your emotions. You can be emotional, right? But you don't always show your emotions, at least not until 1,000% trust is somewhere, right? You keep your emotions kind of a little bit in check. Doesn't mean that you're not passionate or caring or fiery sometimes, right? It's just that I'm a master of my emotions. I'm feeling good. But the King of Cups here can also be you are mastering your connection with spirit as well. So that can be super cool for you. Big, big shift, a big alignment happening here for you. Loving it. But the King of Cups can also be that I feel some of you, you're not really feeling connected maybe with people right now. Maybe you are single, right? Maybe you've been single for a while, a few years maybe for some of you. And the King of Cups can really say, because he's in the upright, and there's no turmoil with this. It's a mature love. It can be a deep love. And it can just really, really be saying that I think I'm ready for love. But I'm not going to sell myself short. I've learned a bunch of life lessons. And I'm only going to accept love in my life if it's 100% in alignment with me and who I am and my my beliefs and all this kind of stuff, right? Like, you're not going to play games, and you don't want anyone that plays games, right? You want someone mature, caring, compassionate, passionate, right? But also someone that really digs your vibe and you can really dig them, and someone who you can give yourself to fully and wholly, right? And so this can be a big shift for you here. And I will say, and this is not a love reading, of course, by any stretch of the imagination, but because the King of Cups is coming up, the moon, we can have some love and romance. And we are heading into that eclipse season. And I will tell you, if you are single, I think it's the first Friday of August. Yeah, the 1st of August is on a Saturday. I know that because I'm going on vacation that day. And so it's the Friday after that. So whatever day that is, the 8th, 7th. Anyway, that can be a day where fate plays a role. A fated encounter, a soulmate just pops up out of nowhere, and it might not be that exact day. It could be a few days after, a few days before. But if you put yourself out there, there is a heightened chance that you can find that soulmate energy, that true love that maybe you didn't even know you were looking for, right? Because that Eight of Cups is sitting right there. You're like, I don't care, right? But you do care, all right? It can also be a really good time for, connecting with any kind of people on any kind of level. So if you've been feeling disconnected from the general population, I feel like you are ready to maybe meet some different people. All right. Very creative energy though, very very confident kind of energy. Maybe you just have a deep knowing of something that's going to happen. Highly intuitive with this here, right? So it'll be very interesting. I'd love to know. I'd love to know what's going on with you with this. In your recent past, we've got the Three of Pentacles. Okay. So the Three of Pentacles, this is the energy that has been activated, that has been active, but it's on its way out the door. Okay. It can also be something that you might be considering reviving, but you may or may not. Three of Pentacles is a card of creation, of creating a life, of creating a foundation. This can be something with commitment. This can be something in your material world, your money. And this can be just creating the life that you want. And it's a really positive energy. You're making progress. Okay, so no matter where you are, okay, progress has been made, but perhaps, because we do have the Two of Wands, some of you may be willing to take a step back or let something go so that you can course correct somewhere along the way. The Three of Pentacles is also an energy of teamwork and collaboration, learning, being taught, right? It is associated with seeking out counsel, seeking out help and support, or, it can be about expanding your knowledge, right? Finding that teacher, right? It can be all of that. So some of you maybe are graduating from something, or you're finished with a project. This can be project based here as well. And now you're looking for something new. But it is a good energy here. If it was in the reverse, it might mean something a little bit different. But it is in the upright. So this is like all about your progress, and you're doing well. You may not always recognize it, but you're probably in a better place than sometimes what you think that you're in. All right. But some of you may have been on the lookout for a teacher or a guide, or you might actually be the person that has been guiding other people, right? But you might be finding that you've been stuck doing that, okay, or that maybe you're tired of that. It's like, it's my time to shine now, and it's not because you're selfish. It's just because that's part of the balance. You are the humanitarians of the zodiac, right? So you are naturally helpful to other people, even when maybe you least expect it, because they kind of gravitate towards you, right? Because you're interesting, weird and interesting, right? And so, but you might be like, okay, I'm kind of I need to focus on me, right? I can't give all my time to everyone else. And so this can be kind of this shift that you're experiencing, shifting from other people and shifting the focus onto yourself in a positive way, right? You deserve growth. You deserve happiness. You deserve love. You deserve success. You deserve joy on your terms. All right. So you may have learned a thing or two with that Three of Pentacles. By the end of the month, we've got the Ten of Swords. Okay. Now the Ten of Swords and the very end of the month, that is your full moon. I'm going to get another card for that because I'm not going to leave your reading on the Ten of Swords. So the Ten of Swords can really represent the end of a difficult cycle. Okay. And with your full moon here, Aquarians haven't necessarily had it easy, right? And you've had Pluto in your sign, and Pluto is still in his early degrees. And it's like a lot of power, a lot of energy with that. And, so with this full moon, right, we do look back to the new moon that you had around your birthday 6 months ago, early February, I think it was. And so you look back to that, And this is an end of that cycle. And so we can look at this and say, okay, either something is coming to an end and I've thought long and hard about it. And even though this has been an incredibly difficult choice, I am putting an end to something. I'm finding my closure and I'm moving forward because I know there's a new beginning on the horizon, right? Because this is swords energy. So it is like the power of our mind. This can also represent just the end of a really difficult cycle. It's been difficult. It's been hard. It's been a challenge. There's been some bright lights in there, some good stuff in there, but the overall kind of feeling maybe around Aquarius for the last year or two has been challenge after challenge after challenge. And you're like, this is the age of Aquarius. My life's supposed to be wonderful. But it is, right? It's just that, you got work to do in there as well. So you can have that going on. But remember, tens, right, do lead way to new beginnings. And so we do need to clear the path of the things that don't work, right? The things that we've been holding on to, we do need to find closure so that we can have room to welcome those new blessings and those new beginnings. And so, like I said, we've got this 8 of Cups here as well, right? We've got that, 10 of Swords. So something is drawing itself to a conclusion, right? Something is shifting and ending in your world, but then there's a beautiful bright light that opens up as well, right? And that leads us into eclipse season. We've also got the Devil card, okay, with that 10 of Swords. So, wonderful. So this can have been, Devil card is Capricorn energy. We had the full moon in Capricorn at the end of June. Okay, simple. Ruled by Saturn. So there could be some really big life lesson here that you have embraced. It's given you a challenge, and now you're free. You're free from that. We're no longer letting anyone control us or take our power away, right? The Devil card can be where we give our power away even unknowingly, okay? The Devil card can be that Saturn energy, that Capricorn energy, but it can also be our shadow side. It can be your fears, your worries, your doubts. And what do we have here? We're letting go of all of that. We're putting an end to that. And the Devil card, that final stamp on that is like, right? So you're not going to let fear rule you. You're not going to let anyone rule you. And I feel that even though there might be some difficulties, anyone that is trying to control you, keep you under their thumb, prevent you from doing what you want to do, because you are a sign of freedom. I feel like you are stabbing that right there. You are not going to do that anymore. It's very difficult to, finish off, I guess we'll say, okay, or to make that conclude, because it could represent endings to connections and relationships, right? But but you're taking your power back, right? You're taking your power back by putting a stake in something, put a fork in it, right? And that way you can move forward free and clear. So embrace your fears, because by embracing our fears, facing our fears, this is how we get growth, and this is how we can move forward, and this can really put us on a much more pleasant path. Okay. I'm going to get a final message for you guys. And you're probably looking at that Devil card going, yep, figures that came out. Right? It's just the way things have been going. All right. But I really do feel like you're clearing this out. And your final message here, healing. Man, this healing card has come up quite a few times, but we do have healing coming in here. This is light codes that are activating for you right now. Something is shifting, something is changing. The negative is leaving. We're healing from that, and we're moving forward into a much brighter and lighter space. That's what I have for you, Aquarius. I do hope there was something here for you. If so, please do like, share, and subscribe. I thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.